All right, what's going on, guys? So, this is not a rumor. The analysts say that Sony is prepping the PlayStation 5 Pro for release this year and to be ready for Grand Theft Auto 6 next year. This actually makes sense. You also see a lot of people complaining that certain games are capped at 30, and Microsoft also has a more powerful console than them. Sony also did this with the PS4 Pro, where they released it a year um, before Microsoft decided to respond with their X a year later. Microsoft said that they wouldn't do that this gen, but maybe they just didn't want to tell people that because Phil Spencer did comment and say that we have some new options available for the holidays. And they already announced the Series X digital, so I don't know about that. We'll see. But I believe Sony is going to be releasing the PS5 Pro this holiday. They already have some investors angry at them for a lot of things, and they want some type of flair for the holiday. So the PS5 Pro would make sense. They can now have the most powerful console. They can now be able to match closer to PC games, and they would be able to have a beefy console that can run everything at 4K 60. Not only that, I believe that 8K is around the corner too. So if you have that type of hardware, you'll be able to run things at 8K as well, and that's going to be a new trend. But it's not going to be modern for a while because not everyone's going to get it day one. We were hoping that it would be out earlier. I thought it would, but I guess a lot of delays happen. So they probably want to balance in the market from low, medium, high, and premium tier prices. But you could expect that to seriously be around the corner. Even though people are not talking about that, I can tell you guys that's definitely going to be happening. And they would probably want to try to get marketing rights for GTA. If not, them and Microsoft are fighting over it right now. But the PS5 Pro would be able to offer people the premium, performance option. We're not just talking about just performance mode, but I mean being able to do native 4K and 60 frames per second with next gen titles, which is a huge thing to some people now, since more people know about that. Whereas back then, I don't know if you guys remember, you just look on the back of a cover of a game, you'd play it. You wouldn't pay attention to all this nonsense. This is the thing that people get into now in Western society where over detail is a big deal. You play games back then at 30 and wouldn't even know it. As long as it doesn't drop, it doesn't matter. But now, since people know about this, it's an option they want. I can't say that it's bad, it's not, but sometimes the overfocus on details can be kind of annoying. Performance, I can understand, that can be important, but focusing too much on graphics is not as important. Sometimes it can make a game cost way too much, and you could have way better content, more exploration and all that when you're not focusing too much on hyper details. I've been gaming since the 90s, since NES days, so I prefer everything else to be great rather than just over focusing on details. But anyhow, I believe that this is definitely reliable, and it's not the first time we've heard this, but now we have reliable sources talking about this, like Sirkan Toto. He's cool. He covers a lot of stuff in Japan. He covered a lot of Nintendo stuff. He covers stuff on his stock. He's definitely reliable, and I wouldn't say that he's fishy or unreliable. No, I like that guy. He's cool. And right here he says, them ads. There seems to be a broad consensus in the game industry that Sony is indeed preparing a launch of a PS5 Pro in the second half of 2024. Yeah, which I believe is going to be either late summer or early fall. And Sony will want to make sure to have a great piece of hardware ready when GTA 6 hits in 2025. And I don't know if you guys remember, but Rockstar announced that GTA 6 is not coming to PC yet. It's going to take a while. So how are you going to get GTA 6 at native 4K 60 frames per second running super smooth? I believe knowing Rockstar, they'll have a setting for even like the consoles right now. I can do it. Nintendo, I believe, is going to get it as well. They can just scale it down. They're good developers. But if you want that premium experience, Sony's going to be the only one in the world, unless Microsoft surprises us with something else, who you never know, to be able to offer that. But right now, we know that Sony's going to be the one to do that. So, and what's also interesting is, will it be crossplay? That's another thing that will be interesting. And we know they already released a slim version, but that's not really a massive upgrade. And from what I've been reading, the PS5 Pro will have around 15 to 16K teraflops. Like 16 gigabytes of RAM. Processor's going to be very beefy. They're going to have their own machine learning aspects in there, and have like an even more advanced version of ray tracing, a beefier SSD. So, and if you ask me what's going to be the price point, guys, I'm going to tell you it's going to be $600 at least. I don't see them dropping the price of the other consoles yet. Even then, the cheapest I could see this being is 449 if Sony decides to drop the price of the regular PlayStations, but I don't think they will. I think it'll be $600, and it'll be a nice price point. I mean, if you're getting that much of an upgrade for $100, imagine trying to build a PC like that. It's going to cost you thousands plus. So it's not that expensive. And certain people will trade in their current console for it. But we know that they cut their forecast down. There's a lot of negativity going on towards them from the investors. Definitely using that 10 billion value loss off the market. They want to cover for that, and a new piece of hardware and stuff like that is a good way to generate things. No, they're not going to have huge AAA games either. So they want to kind of have that premium experience for second and third party this year and going into next year with GTA and AAA games dropping too. So we could see that being very, very reliable. As you see right here, this can reinvigorate the public's interest in the PS5 lineup, knowing they'll be able to offer even more premium settings. This is something that's kind of needed for, Microsoft and Sony. Nintendo doesn't really need this because they have such top tier development. Even the upgrade they're going to get is going to be astronomical for them. But over here in this world, where it's kind of more focused on hyper details and all of that, and you got those type of communities, it's needed. And I can see that because that's just the way it is. These AAA games and the budget cost is just now getting ridiculous now. So you're going to need that demand. But all in all, guys, just wanted to cover that. And I tell you, I do think that this is going to launch. So this is something that you could say you believe in and to get ready for. And if you want to save up for it, if you're young or whatever, yeah, go ahead and do that. If you haven't gotten a PS5 yet and you want to wait, well, you just jump right onto that. So yeah, it's definitely going to happen. I could see them doing that. And like I said, you want another price point? $599. But yeah, guys, like and subscribe if you like this intel. As I tell you, I'm going to be consistently bringing you awesome news. I'll be posting a source in my um, bottom part of YouTube if you want to know where that's at. See right here, it's CNBC, but I'll put the post in there for you guys so you can read it if you want. All right, guys. Peace.